Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, thanks for joining. My name is Nichelle Desautels, and I am a field education trainer with Wella. Today, I'm coming live from Vancouver, BC. That's where I live. And we're going to be talking about holiday styles. I wanted to thank Wella Canada West for allowing me to use their platform today to come live to you guys. And I know when we're talking about kind of holiday styling with everything that's kind of going on with the world, people are like, what do you mean? Why would we talk about holiday styles? Nobody's going to have Christmas parties this year or stuff like that. And that's not to say that companies won't do, Zoom Christmas parties or, small groups of people that are in their bubbles will get together and still have some kind of holiday get together, whether it be with your household, because in BC it sounds like that's where we're going, or, just small groups. So that's not to say that your clients can't still have a beautiful style to go with their little holiday get together in whatever way they might be getting it done or getting together. And what I kind of wanted to bring to you guys today was kind of quick, easy tips and tricks for doing them in the salon. Some questions I get a lot about when it comes to styling or dressing hair is, it takes forever. It's going to take an hour and a half to do an updo. And they don't. A lot of times updos, I feel like they get people overthink them. And when we get these really beautiful, complex looking updos, at the end of the day, it's usually very simple steps to get there. So I'm hoping I can give you guys some tips and tricks for getting there today. Today I have my mannequin kind of half prepped. I wanted to go through with you guys how I decided to prep her. Oh, yeah, a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys have any questions, please use the question box. I think it's right down there. It's a little bubble with a question mark on it. I am going live today just alone, so it makes it a lot easier to retrieve questions. That being said, I will try and keep an eye on the chat, but if I miss your question, feel free to just throw it in the chat box. So today I have my mannequin here. She's half prepped. I prepped her hair with our IME from Wella, the thermal image. This is our heat protectant spray. This has 220 degrees Celsius heat protection, so it's going to be great for any kind of heat styling you're going to do. Little kind of trick is you'll notice it separates in the bottle, so you just shake it up before you use it and then spray onto the hair to protect the hair. The next thing I used, and this is kind of one of my favorite products that I usually keep in my personal cabinet for styling my hair, is this mannequin. It was used for style beforehand, so she had some product in there, she had some hairspray in there. So I first gave her a really good brush, then I sprayed her with the thermal image, and then just to give the hair some slip and make it really easy to work with, I used my Sebastian Dark Oil Silkening Mist. So if you guys haven't used anything from the Dark Oil collection, this is the original product from the Dark Oil collection. It was literally the dark oil. Okay, this is a lightweight oil. I know the bottle can be kind of deceiving because it comes in a dark bottle, but it is actually, and I'll squeeze some out so you guys can see, is a clear oil. And it's really, really lightweight, and it absorbs into the hair really well. It doesn't weigh the hair down or make it feel greasy. Even on my hands, it absorbs into my hands, which is really nice. So the Silkening Mist, it lives in that family. So again, it's going to be very lightweight. And I love using this for, restyling day 2 hair, or if I find hair is a little bit catching in the iron, I will use this to kind of give the hair some slip. So I'm going to spray my section here down with this. And for people who are scared of oil, this is a great product. Okay, so it's going to add some shine and some slip to the hair. Okay. So today I'm going to be using my GHD Rise. This is a new tool from GHD, and it is a hot brush. So it has 365 degrees, ultrazone technology. So if you guys are familiar with GHD, the Platinum Plus, that means it's checking the temperature every second or so to make sure it's maintaining that optimal styling temperature of 365 degrees. It heats up in about 20 seconds, so I'm going to turn it on here. And it has a little sound it'll make when it's ready. there you go. That's telling me it's ready. It automatically shuts off about 30 minutes, and it has these 1/2 centimeter nylon bristles that really make it easy to kind of grip onto the hair and create your style. Now, what I like about using this as a prep tool for upstyling is I usually like to use hot rollers or even like a round brush blow dry or something, if something I'm doing in the salon, because it creates a very soft curl. When I'm doing an upstyle, I don't want those, you know, very uniform curling iron curls. I don't want them to be too small. So this creates a nice soft curl and kind of gives me that roller set feel without having to do a roller set. So this is going to be a tool that is going to be in my kit when we go back to doing wedding hair and all that. Okay. So how we use it. And today was kind of my first day using it after we did a live with Lauren Wild in October. If you guys missed that, it is saved in our IGTV, and she goes through kind of all the features and benefits of using the Rise. But I was a little skeptical at first, and I have to say I used it for my IG live earlier today, and then I'm using it for this one as well. It's a really quick, easy tool to use. So I hope you guys want to try it after this. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to go into the hair, and I'm just kind of letting those top bristles catch it and grabbing the tail and wrapping it around. And then as I move through the hair, I kind of drop that top section and keep moving down the hair. Okay. See, it creates this nice soft curl throughout the hair. Now I'm choosing to do the curls away from the face for the look that I'm going to show you guys today. And the look I'm going to do today is going to be one of those, you know, soft, those very like soft, sleek buns that sit at the bottom of the hair that we see a lot on Instagram. I did another look earlier today that I'll show you once I'm done. So if you guys want to go watch that IG live, you can definitely go watch it. But this will be kind of a soft, sleek bun at the bottom. So again, I'm taking my Rise, I'm putting it in at the top of the hair, wrapping the hair around, letting those bristles catch, and then slowly working down the hair. Okay. Perfect. And see how it's just creating these nice, soft curls for me to work with. Right. Now, a question that was asked earlier was if I was working on coarse or kind of frizzy hair, would I move slower through the hair? And definitely, if I was working with, you know, heavily textured hair or hair that's very coarse and frizzy, I would move a little bit slower. I'm really lucky that this mannequin has fine hair, so I can move a little bit quicker through the hair. I'm taking about 1 inch wide sections and working through the hair. Another little tip is this is a cool tip, which is a lifesaver. Full disclosure, when I was working with this earlier, I did fully burn the entire palm of my hand by grabbing the iron. So don't do what I did. Use the cool tip. And again, I'm just working away from the face, allowing that top to catch, and then working down the hair as I drop. Now you can touch just the nylon bristles. They are cool to the touch, so you're not going to burn your hand there. And see how quickly I'm able to kind of move through the head. Essentially a full head set with this is going to take me less than 10 minutes, which is really amazing. Now as I get to this top section of hair, I'm going to create a little bit of volume because I don't want the hair sticking straight to the part here. So I'm going to actually go in slightly horizontally and create a little bit of volume there. Oops. Make sure I'm grabbing my tail. And then, whew. I just have this mannequin slightly higher because of, so you guys can see, but there we go. And then I'm just slowly kind of working down the hair and dropping the curl as I work. See how much more volume that created there? So So when I'm doing up styles, I always like to prep the hair with some kind of curl set. It's very rare that you'll see me go in with just straight hair. So I'll either, round brush the hair or run a curling iron through it or run my flat iron through it. And now I'm using the Rise. So it's always good to have nicely prepped hair that's smooth when you're going in for an up style. Okay. So there is my set all finished. I'll show you guys and see it's just nice loose curls. I haven't brushed them all out yet. Okay. So I'm going to brush through her hair once this side is cooled a little bit and then start my up styling for you guys. Perfect. Hi Nick, I saw you just joined. Thanks for joining. All right. So now that these have cooled down a little bit, I'm gonna go in and start brushing through the hair. If the hair is very clean or has a lot of slip to it, you definitely can use a hairspray. I'm preferring not to use a hairspray right now. I really like to use hairspray as a finishing or kind of a manipulating tool. I don't really like to use it right on the curls right away because then I can find sometimes it's hard to, I get a fuzzy updo. So yeah, long time no see. I know, 2 hours ago, long time. So I'm taking my GHD paddle brush and I'm just kind of brushing through my curls here. And this allows me to make sure there's no tangles in the hair. There's no straight pieces kind of through there. So I've got a nice little curl through the hair, a nice soft curl, which is exactly what I want. Okay. All right. So when I'm doing my updos, I always want to think about the end result and I try and break the head down into different steps. So depending on the look that I'm doing is going to depend on my sectioning. For this, I want to create one of those kind of low bun, sleek styles that we see. So my sectioning is going to be, I'm going to kind of section out the top here. And then I'm going to work the bottom in a second part. So those are kind of my steps. Step 1 is work the top, and then my step 2 is going to be the bottom. The reason why I like to section the hair when I'm doing these kind of styles is because I find it easier just to break everything down and not get lost in my updo. When you have women with really long, crazy hair, it's easy to get lost in all that hair. So I always like to break things down into steps, and that makes it really easy. For this look, I am gonna have the hair off the face. So just to kind of encourage that and get rid of that part that's there, I'm going to comb the hair back. Okay. Firstly, I'm gonna kind of take this hair that's in the bottom and I'm just gonna kind of clip it out of the way. Mostly just so I don't pick it up. And make sure I leave myself, make sure I leave myself enough hair to work with at the end, because nothing's worse than getting to the bottom and then realizing, oh, I need more hair. So I'm just kind of clipping this stuff out of the way. There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to start working on the top. Now, if you guys can't see, please just let me know. I'm going to try my best to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me just turn her a little bit. There we go. All right, so I have my top section here, and then I have my bottom section kind of just clipped out just so I can make sure I save it. All right. So since I want the style to move off the face, I'm gonna kind of work this top section first. And I'm gonna work my way down. So I'm gonna work from the top to the bottom, and that's how I'm gonna build this up style. Sometimes you can work from the bottom to the top. Again, like I said, it depends on the finish that you're looking to have. So for this, I want that kind of piecey, nice, sleek look with some volume. It's always hard to do with a mirror. So I'm gonna grab this piece, as you can see here, and I've just kind of combed through it with my fingers, and I've created, this bunch in the center. What I'm gonna do here is I'm going to actually use little baby clear elastic, and I'm just going to put it on the hair here. I might just do 2 wraparounds. There we go. And then I can take the hair here and slightly pull it apart, okay? And that's gonna create that nice piecey look. I try and do this as I go, because if you do this at the very end, you can actually start pulling out some of your updo and create like fuzziness. So I try and do this as I go. I'm pulling it apart. And then this is where I'm going to grab some of my hairspray. So today I'm using my IME Stay Essential hairspray. This is a nice working spray. It's nice and lightweight. We also have all sorts of great working sprays and Sebastian. Today, this is just what I grabbed. So I'm just gonna lightly spray that and just really lock in that style. Okay, so I've got all my pieciness worked into there. Now I'm going to start bringing in the sides here. So it's always hard to do when you can't see the front, so bear with me, you guys. Perfect. So I've got my whole side piece here, right down to where I have that section parted out in the middle there. And I'm going to, where is my, oh, I put a comb down somewhere. Sorry guys. Oh, perfect, there we go. So I've got my comb here. I'm just kind of combing through my section. Now I'm going to add a little bit of back combing here because I want to create some volume here. So I'm just going to do 1 or 2 pushes here just to have some volume in the back there. Okay. And I'll gently comb out just the top of that section where I'm going to see. Oh. Okay. Now I find it easy to work with the hair with a little bit of hairspray on at this point. So I'm going to lay the hair on top of my hand like so. Give it a good comb through, and I'll spray. Okay. And that just gives me a nice working kind of wave to work with. And as I pull the hair back, then I can start kind of creating my style back here. So I'll turn it around again so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm just wrapping the hair over top of where I have that ponytail there, or that, not that ponytail, but that band there, sorry. And I'm gonna start pinning. So when I'm pinning, I'm kind of pinning up into where that band is to secure it. So that's kind of like my base. You don't need a ton of pins to work that in. So see, that's enough for it to hold, and that creates that side there. Now again, like I said, you can go through and kind of piece out and pull your pieces down depending on how loose you want it in the front there. Okay. And then I'll do the same to the other side. So I'm grabbing, my whole side section here. I'm gonna put a little bit of back combing just so I create volume. So 1 or 2 pushes. We don't want to create a ton of back combing. That's going to be hard for you to comb out or your client to comb out later. So just a few pushes, and then I'll grab my whole section again, comb it out, nice and flat on my hand. Use some hairspray. So that piece like curls together and all those curls crest together really nice. And then I'll start working it back. Again, I'm just kind of wrapping it over top of where I have that elastic. Okay. Now I'm just using regular bobby pins. You can definitely use bigger hairpins. Sometimes I use like the the giant ones if I have somebody with really heavy coarse hair and they've got a lot of hair on their head. I love those, but for this lady, she's got fine hair, so we don't need to overdo it. Okay, so again, I can kind of pick apart pieces and decide how loose I want it. So there we go. So it's nice and soft. So there is half of the head is already up, and that took, 10 minutes. So that's what I mean by, I feel like updos get overthought a lot. It's really easy when you just break them down, put them in sections, and you can kind of work through the hair quickly. So I'm going to give a bit of hairspray here just to piece out my sections and really ensure the front stays where I've kind of put it now. Oops. Now I'm going to start grabbing my bottom section here, and this is where I'm going to start creating my bun. Now I know when we're holding a lot of hair like this, it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So this hair here that we have kind of left over from the front, I'm actually going to pin it up, because that's what I'm going to use to kind of work around and really personalize my little bun here. So this hair down here is what we're going to be working with to kind of create a base for that bun. So if you'd like, a big voluminous bun, you can definitely use a little bit of backcombing. I'm going to more pull mine apart. So again, I'm going to lay the hair on my hand, give it a little bit of spray, so it's a little easier to work with. And then I'll start twisting. So now I'm twisting my section and allowing it to kind of fall into the twist. So I'm not forcing the twist, I'm just letting it fall into that twist, right? And then I'm working it into a little bun, okay? Now this is where I sometimes will use my bigger pins, but she doesn't have a ton of hair, so I'm just gonna use my little pin kind of pin that in there. And all I'm doing is just crossing my pins so they kind of catch each other. Okay. I'm going to move this up just so I can see what I'm doing. And this is where I'm going to start pulling that little bun that I've created apart to create how big I want that bun to sit. And this is where you can kind of make sure I'm kind of working on an angle, so I'm making sure I'm checking my symmetry. It's sitting in the center of the head, and then I'll start kind of pinning the edges to create how big I want that bun to sit. Okay. And that gives me a nice base to kind of work on. So there is my little center bun, okay? So that's gonna be the base that I work on. And just for insurance, I might give her a little pin on the bottom. There we go. All right, so now all this stuff that I clipped out of the way now is what I can do to kind of work and create how I want the finish on this bun to look. So I'm going to kind of take the hair that I have left and start to dress it around. So whether it's like I start wrapping it around, this side is where I want it. You can start creating little curls like this. Really the world is yours when it comes to upstyling. And I always say, no two updos are gonna look the same. Clients will show you something on Instagram and you can get it looking close, but it's never gonna be exact because of their hair type or what have you, right? So this one I'm gonna kind of twist and start tucking it in and around the actual bun here. Don't mind me as I drop all the pins. All right. So this one here, I just want to create a little bit more curl. So I'm actually going to take my rise and just slightly curl that in so it's nice and smooth. There we go. Now, this is where I really start using my comb and my hairspray to really dress the sections. You want to make them look smooth and nice before you actually start pinning them, because once they're pinned, you can't really change them. So I can kind of pull my section apart here and start to really dress it. So the same thing I'm going to do on this side. I'm going to use kind of the outer section to go around my bun to give it some definition, and then I'll start dressing the center. So again, I'm spraying my section, a little bit of hairspray, combing it, making sure I got nice and smooth so I don't have any frizzies. And then I'm twisting it and just pinning it around my little base that I created underneath. And I mean, working on a mannequin's so nice because you can push her up all the way, so you can really see what you're doing. All right, so here's my last section that I have here. Again, I'm going to spray it, comb it out so it's nice and smooth. It's a nice working section to work with, and then I can kind of separate it and decide how I want the bun. You love the new Rise by GHD. Yes, it's probably one of my new favorite tools, and I'll be honest, I did the live with Lauren in October, and I said I was going to use it, and I didn't use it until today. And it's an amazing tool. It's definitely something I'll probably start bringing into the salon a little bit more, because it's a great tool. All right. Oops. Oh, this guy just doesn't want to pin for me. Okay. So all I'm doing here is I'm kind of putting the pin on the ends of the hair, and then I'm twisting and pinning it where I want it, right? That's a really easy way to kind of get things where you want them to go versus trying to manipulate everything with, you know, sticky fingers and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so there's my little base here. So I've got that nice bun here. I'll probably start pulling it apart in a second. But now what to do with all these little tendrils down here. So I'm going to give them a little bit of hairspray again, comb through them. Oops. Again, I'm going to put a pin on the bottom of the hair, and I'm going to tuck them up into my bun. Perfect. Now, if I have any sneaky little tendrils, I can, again, use that same technique. I like twisting and putting the pin on the end and twisting them up into the bun, and see how that just tucks it all in nicely. Perfect. So there is the finished look of the bun there. From here is where you can really start pulling it apart if you want it to look more undone. I start visually kind of going through and deciding what I want things to look like. And you'll use a little bit of hairspray to get there. Okay. This is where I'll check my front. Now, there's this really great picture that I found. I can't seem to find it to post for you guys today, but it shows you what the front of updos can look like, whether it be a side parting or more of an undone look or off the face. And I think that's something that's often forgotten when we talk about upstyles with our clients. So don't ever forget about the front of the face. So here I'm just using my fingers and a little bit of spray to kind of piece things out. You could always use a little bit of pomade. I really like the Stay Brilliant from IME. It's a shine pomade. Okay. And there we go. This is my finished look, guys. So I'll bring her a little bit closer. So off the face, nice and soft, kind of that low bun look. As you can see. So using any of these tips, you can kind of create whatever you would like. This is the look that I decided on today. I did another look for another IG Live today, and I'll show you that one just because I have her all nice and ready. So this is the look I did on Modern today. So this was the look. It was more of a messy, undone, boho-like updo. Again, it was broken up into steps, so I did it in 4 different steps. So if you're ever want to go check that one out and see that updo, you can go and check that out on their IG Live. These are kind of 2-up styles that I feel like we do get a lot of requests for in the salon. We see them a lot on Instagram. They're quick, they're easy. Updos don't have to be hard. So I hope you guys learned something today, and I'm really happy I was able to come on Wella Canada West and bring this to you guys live today. To everybody in BC right now, I know there's a lot of anxiety flying around and people are feeling the next 2 weeks, but stay strong. We're doing good. Our salons are still open, so I hope you guys stay healthy and stay positive. And yeah, I'll see you guys again. When are we live next again? Next week, we have another live with Chelsea Mann and Lauren Wild. They're going to be doing a Sunday night after 8 with Wella Canada West, talking about trends and stuff like that. So tune in next Sunday and you'll see them then. Great. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.